The damn. Okay. Gonna have to pause that. I need to make a video response here in a second, folks. Give me a. We'll do that in a minute. How did I? I don't even remember how I'll fix that. All right. What the best way to respond to this is? Let's see. Let me pull up. Um, Planet, what's up, baby? I'm about to make a video because I'm going to respond to the comments in. You've seen the stuff I just posted. You responded. I'm going to respond to those comments with a video, but I wanted to stream. So I need my laptop so I can read the damn comments. I didn't know a better way to do it. So I'm about to hold the phone up and then record myself making a video during the live stream. But that's neither here nor there. Well, I guess technically it's right here as we speak. How you doing, Planet? How your day going? I am about to make this video. Hold on, let me pull this up so I can see. That word, these how small these damn words are. Okay. Is them. All right. Yeah, I really don't know the best way to do it. Should I just hold the damn phone up and record myself? That's what I'm leaning towards right now. Why does it feel? It feels so weird making a video. Making a video versus live streaming, dude. It feels so different. I actually still get nervous before I make a video. All right. Let me see. Let me turn my Bluetooth off for a second. All right, turn that off. Let me pull the right section up. Whoop. Where's them? Yeah, I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place, Planet. I hope I can flip this around mid recording. There has to be a better way to do this, but I'm going to record my laptop with me reading the yeah, there has to be a better way. Let's get these responses right there. Oh yeah, there got to be a better way to do this. There has to be. We got wisdom is we got a Jesus thing. Somebody talking about Jesus. We don't need to go over that when everybody knows about that. I'm a wizard. Okay. Already, and I gave it a heart. I love wizards. I did ask what kind of wizard. We never really found that out. Okay, so the question is, what is wisdom? To already experience something and can console others about it. The only thing let me flip that over. Boop. Yeah, I'm gonna start this whole thing over. See, this is how I do videos, Planet. I start these damn things all over. Let's reset it. Reset, start over. Start it over. Okay. Let's try again. Ugh. This is a very weird feeling making a video while live. Okay. I know there's a better way to do it, but this is how we're going to do it starting off. What is wise? What is wise? To already experience. Should I flip it over so that people can see it? I don't know. I'm, I'm thinking maybe, you know what? Hold on. I think I got an idea. I think I have an idea. Hold on. Where you at, planet? Hold on, baby. Let me sit this down for a second. I still don't feel true happiness in my life. My mind is, oh, of course, planet. The mind can only be in the past or the future. Once we are in the present, this is where the mind isn't thinking about the past and the present is a tool. It has a purpose, but it can't. Let me think of how to say this, planet. You got to do stuff right now. You got to do. You can't beat your mind. You're not going to. Neither can I. You can't outthink your mind trying to. You just got to shut it down. You notice that after you get done doing something, how much time has passed. Just little small things you need to distract your mind at this point. If you were in the middle of a cold shower, for example, these are moments where you might think of the past a little less. You might think of the future a little less. If you were in the middle of exercise, if you were in the middle of, I don't know, making a video, something, but you have to do something in the moment so your mind can focus on that. Shit, it's like trying to create alcohol. It's like trying to quit drinking or quit anything else. Quitting bad thoughts is a lot like quitting drinking. You have to replace that time with something. You have to replace the time that you use being down on yourself with something else. That will not fix your problem right now. Of course not. This day after day after day will just slowly start to change your percentages. You're old enough now to understand you don't get in shape overnight, mentally or physically. You can't get in physical shape overnight. You can't get in mental shape overnight. So, what we have to do is try to make just today 2% better. We just need to make sure by the end of the hour, by the end of the day, at the very least, we can feel 2% better than we did yesterday. You might say, what the fuck is 2%? If we can get 2% every day, 2% once a week. Now that sounds real easy. What the hell is 2% once a week? Well, if we multiply that by the year, I mean, how long has our relationship been going on at this point? How long have we been entwined, planet? 6 months, 7 months? And if we're being truthful, just like I can say my social media presence has not gotten 2% better each month. But if it had, I'd be a hell of a lot further than I am. At no point in time would I have appreciated the 2% growth. But by now, 6 months later, it would be a big deal. That's a sucky human feeling. You will progress and won't appreciate the progression at all. You just have to know that in the end, you'll appreciate the add up. But that doesn't make it easier because all you can do about what I just said is think about it. You got to do something. You got to do something right now. The mind is not an easy beast to handle, and it will win. It's like what's that old Native American feed the wolves thing? You know that one. If you don't, I can, you know. Cypher, what's up, baby? I'm trying to make a video as I do the live stream, but I don't know the best way to do. Okay, I'm gonna try to knock it out one more time. I'm gonna try to knock this video out. Feel free to interrupt me or, well, this is gonna take me a few tries. I can never get these videos done in one shot. All right, this is my video response to what is wisdom. Now, I want to put the questions on the screen, but I don't know how to do that from my phone. So I'm going to record my computer screen, which sounds like a bad idea, but hey, I don't got another way right now. So that's what I was thinking. Look at it. Cypher just said what I was thinking. You can screen record it. I was thinking I can screen record it and I can do it all from my phone. That's how I'm going to do it next time. But this time, we're going to do it the lazy way, folks. If I didn't already lose anybody who clicked on the damn video, we got to start it all over already. I suck at making fucking videos, Cypher. I am such a live streamer. Do you people would have clicked off that goddamn video in the first 2 seconds? Oh, I fucking hate making videos. All right, let's try again. Let's try again. Maybe I should just screen record. I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I tell you, Cypher, I don't know. I want to answer these questions. I put a short out there. It got some responses, and I want to respond to the responses in the video. But I keep starting the video over. Let's try to screen record one. Let me see. Where's my screen record? Screen recorder, media, and mic. Start record. Oh, it's gonna start too soon. It started recording too soon. I should be able to clip a piece of it off. How do I pull my camera up with my screen recorder? This is the type of stuff, man. This is the type of stuff. Oh, this is what holds me back right here, Cypher. Just trying to figure this type of shit, trying to figure this type of shit out. I swear to you, baby. I always use the same example. Imagine a chef, somebody who loves to cook for their family. They love it. Just cooking for their family is just, it's one of the greatest things for them. But then they think, I love cooking, so I should own a restaurant. They're not the same at all. They are not the same at all. Wait, just go on. Wait, what do you mean? I'm confused. Just go on. Oh, just go to my live on my phone and screen record my live. Okay. Okay. I could do that. Yeah. I could do that. That makes sense. Look at your young brain out there kicking. That's what I'm talking about. I wouldn't have came up with it. Let's try that. Let's see if that works. Boom. Oh, but then I'm going to hear myself talking. That's not a big deal, though, I guess. All right, so how do I do this? Screen record. Why do I have a hashtag Reddit Live? It is all the same, baby. It's all the same. You can hear your. I don't know if I want to hear my wisdom. I can hear my children pouring cereal. All right. Okay. Screen record. So can you see me looking? I got that Paul. Oh, this is Cypher. Jesus Christ. This is Cypher. Oh, I tell you. That's what I need to do. I need to. That's what I'm trying to avoid having to cut it up. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can do it without having it cut up. Planet, that is probably what holds me back the most. I have things that I do daily, but I don't put them in a routine. I mean, I go to the gym every day, but it's not at a certain, or every day I'm not at work, but it's not at a certain time. My nutrition, oh, dude, I don't want to use an excuse to say I'm too poor to have healthy foods, but my nutritional routine is probably the worst. My fitness routine is decent. My spirit, everything I do is in the name of spirit, baby. Everything I do is in the name of spirit. I need a social media routine, though. Repetition. That's the father of learning right there. That is my biggest downfall. Just go with the flow. Just flow with the go, baby. Just flow with the go. You right. I'm gonna pull it out. My shit's still screen recording. All right. I'm gonna just do a quick one here. I'm gonna just knock this out real quick. Knock this out. All right. What is wisdom? Responding to the questions, responding to the answer. I fucked it up already. Already starting over. I'm already starting over. All right. This is going to be the one right here. This is how I make my videos. I start them over countless times. I'm about to just start drinking. This is just ice. Okay. All right. God damn it. This is it right here. We knocking it out right here. All right. Let's get it. What is wisdom? This is my video response to the questions. Jesus Christ. To the answers to this. Do I start it over? I'm about to not even goddamn respond. I quit. Damn quit. Okay. All right. One more time, Cypher. Even if I mess up, this is the one. This is the one. Even if I mess up. What is wisdom? The video response. I usually leave the mistakes in, Cypher. You've seen my videos. I usually leave the streaks in, or the streaks, I usually leave the mistakes in. I'm going to. Next time I pull it back up to record, I'm going to. Are you on a no fap streak? No, I am not on a no fap streak. From P and M. What's P and M? I don't know what P and M is. How many absences have you been from? Yeah, I don't know what P and M is. I'm not on a no fap streak though. I don't have a problem with masturbation. That's not really one of my boons. Oh, wait, no, boon is a good thing. That's not really one of my downfalls. Porn and masturbating. Okay, I got you. No. I'm not. I've never really. No, I'm not going to say that. No, that's not one of the things that. Yeah, that's not really one of my things that hold me up anyway. I'm a little too old to have a problem with masturbation. When I was in my mid 20s, I definitely did it much more to the point where it was a problem, to the point where it kind of did get in the way of my sexual performance. To the point where it starts to get in the way of real life. But I'm old. I'm old now. I don't really. Yeah, it's a little different. It's a little different. Why is it still screen recording? What is wisdom? Let's read over some of the responses that we got. We got a Jesus response. I'm just looking at my laptop screen. There could be a better way to hear. I'll let you guys look through them too. Jesus response. I'm a wizard. Wait, let me click that. Yeah. Now I'm gonna go through these and I don't want to say refute them, but I'm gonna go through these and just add on to them. Okay, the Jesus thing. Yeah, sure. Jesus energy rocks. That's a good thing. I'm a wizard. Not sure what type of wizard, but wizards are not sure if wizards are wise. We got to figure that out. To already experience something and can console others about it. I do like that one, but let's dig into that one. Some people. Now, wisdom goes beyond just understanding yourself. Once you understand yourself, you can truly start to understand other people. But if you don't understand other people, then you really can't understand yourself. It's that yin yang double edge. To already experience something and can console others about it. First, we have to understand that the experience itself is not the important part. It's how we experience that experience. Some people are from areas, places, homes so toxic that there is nothing they can do to help the people with them. Sometimes the wisest thing we can do is to stop trying to help the people around us. Now, this is not in every situation, but this is in some situations. Many of people have given up most of their happiest years trying to help people they could not help, not being able to let go of the things they should have been able to let go of. Now we got Galactic. Oh, love you, bro. I love you too, baby. You know I do. You know I do, Planet. Mediocre says knowledge. Knowledge would be wisdom. Above that, Jabberjaw. Everybody that said knowledge, we're going to answer those together. Mediocre said knowledge, and Jabberdraw that says knowledge and understanding in action. Okay. College students have a lot of knowledge. College students can put that knowledge into action to pass tests. But most people wouldn't say we should look to college students to find wisdom. So it's not that I completely disagree. We're just missing knowledge in what category? Because we can have knowledge on how to steal cars. We can have knowledge on American history. We can have knowledge on how to make the world's greatest baba ganoush. But this does not translate to wisdom. Above that, CF Designs Online. Shout out to CF Designs Online. Information and experience equals wisdom. Again, information in what category? Experience in what category? What if we experience the experience wrong? Let's not forget that's an option. This is why when some people get such and such diagnosis, they do this. And then when other people get the same exact diagnosis, that same experience, they do it a completely different way. A completely different way. I don't even remember. I kind of lost track there. Vicarious views, a state of knowing through direct or peripheral experiences that leads one through more rewarding paths. This is probably the hardest one to disagree with because we say more rewarding paths, and that can mean anything. Some people's reward is suffering. Some people's reward is to feel like they're helping out the people around them. Some people feel like they are nothing if they don't help someone else, and some people feel like they are nothing if they can't help themselves. So I would probably say this is the closest one as long as we are leaving the rewarding path option very open to encompass all paths because the context of that path would matter. Ramdut, the application of learned experiences to better oneself and everyone else. That's dangerous, Ram. If you are truly trying to enhance the experience of everyone's life, you're going to fail. We're going to fail. We can't worry about everyone because everyone's not worried about themselves. So now we're going to step into a mission that is unwinnable. And we're going to step into a mission that's so unwinnable, it'll get in the way of us actually trying to help the people who want to be helped, actually trying to guide the people who want guidance. Wisdom is knowing when to shut the fuck up and knowing when to speak. I like that one, but I got to add a little bit, of course. What if you don't know what the fuck you talking about? What if you know the time to speak is when you're around people who don't know as much as you? Is that wisdom? What if instead of speaking up with my colleagues because I know they can shut down everything I say, I only speak up when I'm talking to children? Only when I'm talking to children do I know that speaking up means I can win this conversation. I wouldn't say that's wise. I don't know if we can really call that wise. Context is everything. Context is everything. Uh, is that it? Are we done? Is that? I think that's it. I think yeah, that's going to be all for now. That has to count. I can't do another one. I can't do another one right now. Let's post this shit. Let's post that right there, baby. That was 5 minutes. That was 5 minutes. All right. Let me post this and then we will get back to what we were doing. Upload video. I look cross-eyed in this thumbnail. We're gonna have to. You hear me? Cringy. All right. What Is wisdom video response? Video response. I see you, Sin. Give me a second, baby. Give me a second. I put a short out there. I was going to respond. Actually, I can show you. I made these shorts this morning, and I was going to respond. I wanted to respond to them on the video, but that took a little bit more technical know-how than I had planned. I put this video here. Well, actually, this is the dude. I was just responding to the wrong. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. Wait, no. Wait, here we go. Is this the one? I don't know, Sin. I'm messing everything all up. We're just gonna pull this back over here. Let me close these windows here. We made the video. The video's goddamn made. We in the clear now, baby. As soon as I can delete these scenes. All right, let's get rid of this one. I was responding to this. I put a video out asking what is wisdom, and what I'm going to start doing, Sin, because I hate the only reason I don't interact more with your today I'll do something sub. I fucking hate typing. I hate trying to express myself through text. If I could put a full video response on that goddamn page every day, I would. I'd respond to that shit with a full video every day. But anyway, I've decided that in my comment sections and things like that, what I'm going to be doing is responding with a whole video, whole damn video. All right, what is wisdom? Video response. Let me just upload this real quick. I gotta use voice text. This is my video response to my start over. You know, I'll add the description later. We'll add the description later. Add to playlist. Boom. We good. What is wisdom? Video response. Upload. All right. I feel like that took forever. How long did that take? I feel yeah. We good now though. Let me sit all this down and let's get to the live stream. What would you send me here? What is this? What? What did you send me there? My ball. All right. Would you say? What is your worst nightmare? Galactic? Planet? We need to pick one thing. I'm gonna just keep saying planet like I usually do. I've always, oh no, you ain't too wrong, Cypher. I've always had besides that little gap in my 20s, I've always had a pretty healthy relationship with masturbation. A healthy relationship with masturbation is very important. Very important. What is my worst nightmare? Besides like super dark, horrible stuff like family, my children dying, and all of that shit. Besides that, because that's everybody. Anybody that got children, of course, your worst nightmare is going to be seeing them tortured and murdered. But outside of that, because that doesn't even really count as that is a nightmare. You can't find a human that I wouldn't care seeing my loved ones get tortured. So I'm actually, you probably could. Sadly, you could find a few humans that really wouldn't care. But besides that, let's look at a more metaphysical biggest fear, a more, a more philosophical biggest fear. Dude, I'm gonna be real with you, Planet. My biggest fear is that I am not going to do what I'm supposed to do. And that sounds simple, but that's my biggest fear. I can see a very realistic path where I give up on social media and just live. I think that would mess up every area of my life, but my biggest, not even that I'm going to fail. Some people would say that I'm going to fail is my mistake. I'm not afraid to fail. I'm afraid I'm not even going to do it. Not even going to. I didn't see you. I didn't. Oh, that makes. I didn't know you put that on Sin. I did sign up for TikTok Sin. I signed up. I signed up for it, and I'm going to put that. I wanted to put that wisdom. Well, because porn's a little trickier, Sin. Porn's a little trickier. When you play a video game, you know damn well that's a video game. You already know. You're playing GTA. You're not gonna go get in a fucking plane and steal a tank and shit. But when you watch porn, especially depending on, we've talked about this, especially depending on how young you start. Imagine watching scary movies, action movies, and you can't decipher between the woman on TV that comes out the TV. I'm saying no. I'm saying you. Yeah, well, yes. I'm saying you learn from anything you watch, anything you consume. But it's easier to tell that a video game is not real life. It's you're setting up the neural. Yeah, it's different. It's a little different. Not about knowing it's fake as much as playing GTA. Playing GTA and stuff like that. Playing video. Let's say you know how they used to say violent video games make people violent. They've never proved that, and at this point they have proven the opposite. Watching porn will start to mess with your sex life. Unless, of course, you're lucky enough to have a partner where that's what y'all do together. That's a whole different fucking story. But watching porn, especially the inherent, undeserved, but the inherent guilt that comes with it, that feeling of shame that shouldn't be there, but that comes with it, it's a much different thing. Most people can agree with that feeling of guilt after you masturbate for whatever reason. That feeling of looking around and having to clean up after yourself and you don't want to get caught doing it. You don't feel that way watching a movie. Most you don't care if someone walks in on you playing the game. Like there's a lot that comes with porn. And I think the most confusing part is nobody, it's not explained to anybody. Like if you were to, you can sit down and tell a child, this is just a game. This is not real life. But the idea of sitting down with a child and explaining to them how to watch porn, when to watch porn, what porn is for, I don't know about that. Oh, video games fuck people up. Video games do. That's from years of shooters and other competitive games. Oh, no. Okay, now we're talking about toxic. If we're just looking at percentages here, Sin, because we're not talking in absolutes. If we're talking about percentages, I've played games my whole life. I've never sat in when you're playing shooters, you don't have to argue with people. I've played Madden, which is a competitive game. I've played 2K from my childhood. You don't have to. It's almost easy to not argue with toxic people. And your teammates being your foes, that can also be fun. Like there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of context there. Like that's it's still a video game. Like there's a reason you can play video games out in public. You can't just masturbate out in public. Just statistically, these are different things. You can see a 3-year-old playing a game the right way. Moderation. There is no moderation of masturbation with a 3-year-old. No, like these are very different things. This is like comparing the moderation of drinking apple juice for a child to the moderation of drinking liquor as an adult. They have a lot of things they have a lot of similarities, but they're different worlds. Sin, I, if you're getting that angry at the video games, that's something deeper. That's something deeper. If toxic people in games bother you that much, that's that's uh that's something a little bit deeper. That's something a little bit deeper. I've been called the N word and all that. That shit makes me laugh because it's like, oh God, this person is miserable. Like, why would I argue with that? 9 times out of 10, I have that shit on mute because I don't, it's annoying. It's not as far as, there's no point. Like, I don't even, yeah, they're very different. They're very different. I have never gotten an argument online. That shit feels foolish. I've never gotten an argument in a video game online. That shit is foolish as hell. What's your opinion on suicide? Jeez, planet. Um, there should be an age limit. Hey, if you over 70 years old, you should be able to take your life any fucking moment you want. You got to make it to 70 though. Just like your brain's not developed until you're 25, you don't have all the wisdom we'll say 65. After 65 years old, if you want to end your life, you should be able to. At that point, you know it. You got it pretty figured out. You know. At that point, it's like, but yeah, do whatever you want. You lived long enough. But no, not for younger folks. Why would Sin? Have you ever done martial arts? Have you ever done martial arts, Sin? Because yeah, I've the people in jujitsu that have choken me out, broke my leg, bruised my mouth. I have never considered them my enemy ever. Ever, ever, ever. Competition does not. If you view your competition as your enemy, that's a little different. Your competition can be your friend. Competition, there. If competition is your enemy, then that's starting to play into the fact that you winning or losing plays into your identity. That's where we're starting to drift to here. If you can't enjoy competition, this not you, but if people can't enjoy competition, if people feel bad when they lose or they truly feel good when they win, they are linking this winning and losing to their self-worth. That's what's happening there. Yeah, even competition in video games. If if winning and losing is doing that much to you, then it's linked to your self worth, and you're doing it wrong. People are doing it, but they're doing it wrong. They're handling it wrong. It's not the right way. We know them. Holy shit! I don't know that, Sid. I've never known that. I've never known that. I don't think I can agree with that at all. I don't think I can agree with that at all. Oh, I'm sure there's a level of pain to losing, yes, but the pain of there's still the context of it. There's still context of where what that pain means. When you lose, is it I shouldn't have done that? I could have beat them. These are different worlds. I lost because I'm a piece of shit. I lost because I wasn't trying hard enough. Now, there's a million reasons, but just those two, dude, it's not about the game. It's not the problem. If you lose and it's like, I could have did better. I should have done this. That's beautiful. If you lose and it's, oh, I'm not good enough. Nothing I do is good. That's just that's not the right way to do it. There's a right and wrong way to do everything. Competition can be done right or wrong. Everything can be done right or wrong. If you are losing in video games and it's doing that to your self-worth, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. I'm not talking about. Wait, what are you talking about pros for? I'm not talking about pros. Oh, I got you. When pro players, different areas are triggered, win or lose. Well, the pros are different. Pros, we're now not just talking about a video game anymore. Once we're talking about pros, we're talking about their job, we're talking about their livelihood. If you're a pro, your identity is a little more tied into it. This would be like comparing watching porn to somebody who acts in porn. Like that again, that's a very different thing. That's a very different thing. If you winning this game or losing this game depends on you getting that sponsorship deal and your family eating and you being able to pay your mortgage, it's a little different than playing Call of Duty with your friends, your toxic friends. Wait, what are you talking about? The reason they're able to become pros is because they're good at the game. Of course, losing still bothers them, but it doesn't affect their self worth. They lost because they didn't do so. If I'm doing a science experiment and I'm mixing chemicals and it doesn't explode like I expected, that they treat it like that. If they lost, it's because they simply mixed the wrong chemicals. They just need to know they don't. Oh, I mixed the. You just find out what you did wrong and mix it properly now. So they treat it more like an analytical thing. But we can't say losing doesn't affect them. We can't say if they were to lose week after week after week after week, that would be a problem. The thing is, when they lose, they understand it more like a business. They understand loss is a part of what they're doing, so it's not tied to their identity. I'm still doing I'm doing the stuff with the video. I'm not just sitting here talking on my damn phone. Y'all should know. People should know. Share video. Where's the damn comments at? Shorts. The video response. I'm going through the chats and giving everybody the link that I told I was going to. What sin? What do you even? I don't even understand where you're disagreeing with me. We went from porn to saying they're different to talking about games and not getting upset. Where are we talking about? If you're getting depressed over video games, you're fucking weak minded. Like I don't know how else to say it. If you're getting depressed only over video games, like nothing else is deeper, like there's no deeper thing, and the feeling is, then you're just very weak minded. Very weak minded. If you can't pick up 10 pounds, you better got a fucking broken arm. There better be something going on if you can't pick up 10 pounds. If you're getting mad at video games, you better have something broke. If you just can't handle losing in video games to the point where not only do you get angry, it affects you for the rest of the day. Now, you're talking to somebody who has a swollen, permanent middle knuckle from losing at video games. But there's right and wrong ways to get mad. Do you get mad and it's done because getting mad is normal, or does it go into your self worth? Because I mean, I'm sure you can watch interviews of pros, and of course they get irritated, but it's not a big deal. Like it's not a I'm irritated and now my self worth is damaged. If you could choose the country in which you were born, would it be the U.S.? Yes, yes, it would be the U.S. planet because I'm the G poot. I'm the G poot, and the U.S. is it's a very unique place, and for me to do what I need to do, my everything that happened to me was supposed to happen. My mission put me here, baby. I'm saying that the competitive nature and popularity of competitive video games is what keeps kids playing, and it has a negative impact on their mental growth. I'd argue it's a factor for the new generation of depressed teens. That's just their parents. That's just their parents' sin. That's all that is. That's all that is, man. It's all that is. If your kids are getting depressed because they're losing in video games, you're doing a bad job at parenting. That's what it is, sin. That's what it is. If your kids, not if they're getting, nobody likes to lose, but if they're getting depressed because they're losing at video games, you're doing a horrible fucking job parenting. Horrible. Like you're that's like building a car and it hits a speed bump and the whole fucking front end falls off. You're doing a horrible job. Horrible job. Horrible. Like horrible. That shouldn't even be an issue. I dis Well, Sin, you've never heard me say video games have no effects on children. What are you talking about? You've never heard me say video games have no effect on children. What you talking about, Sin? You in an argumentative mood, ain't you? I can tell when you in. I love it. I love it, baby. I can tell when you're in an argument. I wouldn't say it's that. No, it is that easy to say, Sin. Yeah, I'm telling you from experience. Both my children play games. It is that easy to say. If your children are getting depressed, not angry. I'm not saying if your children are getting angry. I'm not even saying if your children are getting mad and breaking. If your children are getting depressed from losing in video games, you suck as a parent. That's it. Or your children have some chemical imbalance, blah, blah, blah. That's a different goddamn thing. I'm not a doctor. If your children are simply video games only, that's why they're depressed, you're doing a horrible job. Of course, with the caveats of all the other stuff, blah, 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 blah. Sin. Um. Well, so you would let your if you had children, you wouldn't let them play video games, right? I don't even know how we could really then I would love just a statistic on that. How many people agree with that? I would disagree completely. My son plays video games, and I think it would be he has not discovered porn yet. I think it would be much more damaging to his mind if he discovered porn. What do you mean? What do you mean? Of course you would. But would you let them watch porn? I'm assuming you would let your 10-year-old play video games. You would let your 10-year-old watch porn? And then let's talk about categories. You would does the category matter? Because I mean, if you got enough common sense, you can play a shooter game, you can play a Reddit M game. So you don't think a 10-year-old watching BDS and people pissing on each other, you don't think that'll like mess up their view on love and relationships and okay, but how? But it's not too young for video games. Come on, baby. But it's not too young for video games. How is 10 too young for porn? Boy, we over here talking about 10-year-olds watching porn versus video games. What is up? I ain't seen you in many, many moons. My life is flipped and reset all types of things. No, Sin. Yes, and let's stay on that category, okay? Let's say a 10-year-old playing a Reddit M game. So what screw the age categories. Because you're saying your stance right now, Sin, is that video games is worse for the minds of children than porn. I say let's take the most graphic video game. What a game where you stomp the heads of people. And then let's take the most graphic porn. Which one are you going to let your 10-year-old indulge in? Because I mean, if you sit down and have a talk with your child about this is a video game, it's a video game. I think you would be able to. It'd be pretty easy, but I've seen some porn scenes that I know if a 10-year-old, I know that if some adults, there are scenes in porn that I have seen that if some adults seen them. Okay, hold on. Okay, so are you saying you would let your 10-year-old watch porn before you let them play Battlegrounds? I mean, you could just set the rule with your 10-year-old, no headset. Like my son, it's no headset. You're not allowed to use the headset yet because you need to first understand. You can hear the people talking, but you need to understand something before you get into that. So, would you let your child play Battlegrounds or watch porn at 10? Oh, yeah, Brandon, I got back to it. I got back to it. I just made that today. I just made that today. Yeah, I'm gonna try to take this year seriously. Get out of here. You would let a 10-year-old play a shooter game. Let's say 13 then. Let's just take it up to 13, Sin, because I know there's no age where you're gonna pick that you would rather your child watch porn than play. You can talk to your child about the video game. If you can talk to your child and let him know about the mindsets 13-year-old should come on, man. I was playing Mortal Kombat at 8 years old. It's it's crazy. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not saying video games are good for you. Brandon Sin knows. Sin likes to play devil's advocate and go back and forth with me, and I love him for it. But they're not close. I'm sitting here thinking of like what type of porn is out there. I've never seen a video game that shocked me to the point where I've seen porn where it was like, oh my God, this is what? We're talking about competitive games, yes, but the worst part of competitive games is that damn headset. If you don't have a headset on, I've played Call of Duty with my son. It's not, we've played together. The worst part of Call of Duty is putting that fucking headset on and arguing with the people. Now, do you still stand by your point, Sin? Now, okay, now hold on. Let me give you some credit here, Sin. Let me give you some credit. If you are talking about competitive games with the headset, if you're saying a teenager that plays competitive games and uses and participates with the headset chat, now we talking about Brandon. I love you, baby. You don't know how happy I am you stopped by. It's gonna be a beautiful year, man. Oh, of course. What you got? What kind of question you got? Oh, the planet. The simplest one would be, but Sin. You're talking now. We're talking wiggle room here. You're talking a specific type of competitive gamer. Now, if we were to nail it down to that, there, I can almost start to agree with you. But if we just say competitive games versus porn, there's no. Well, no, that is wiggle room because you said playing with my son is good. Well, how come I can play a competitive game with my son? That's wiggle room because now you're saying it's good. You are only talking about using the headset and arguing with people. I don't know if you would still stand on what you're saying. What if you play a competitive game and you don't use the headset? Do you believe it's still as toxic? If you play a competitive game and treat it like you're just playing a single player game, does one love trust themselves before others, or is the act of love and trust for others what leads to the behavior and parameters to allow for self? Ooh, Brandon, that's a fun one. That's a fun one. Does one love and trust themselves before others? This is a tricky one that kind of goes. Oh, it goes almost at the same time. This one goes almost at the same time because you will love and trust others before you even start to form an opinion on what you are. You will trust your mother breastfeeding you and you will love her for before you even start to form an identity. As you start to form an identity, it will be based off the caveat that you had people to love growing up. So it kind of goes back and forth. You need someone to love and trust enough to help you flower, so to speak. Once you have that foundation, then you can start to do the self reflective work to figure out who you are. You can start, you need to know what love is, you need to know what trust is, and you can't do that on your own. You can only do that. Everybody's version of love is what they're used to. You know, the stereotypical woman who has a dad that wasn't around, so now she's into shitty men because that was what she saw as love. If you have a parent that puts you down constantly, day after day, then your idea of self love may simply be not putting yourself down. It might not go as high as lifting yourself up, but you learned how to love in a damaged way. I like that question. I really like that question. With a little baby, with a little baby, you got to give a little baby somebody to love and trust so they got that foundation to dig into themselves. Now, once they can start digging into themselves, then no, no, no. You didn't say that, Sin. Now we talking about something different, Sin. You switching it up on me, baby. You switching it up on me, Sin. You're saying competitive games where people view enemies and teammates as enemies. Now we talking about something else. Sin, are you telling me if you and I start playing Call of Duty and we're on teams, you're gonna view me as an enemy? What the hell are you talking about? Why are you viewing me as a goddamn enemy? If we're on the headset and we're setting up how to flank, and why are you viewing me as an enemy? You're talking now specifically about a person that's playing with strangers that they can't even trust. Again, this is a completely different thing. You take the kid that got two or three good friends and they take that shit seriously, they're not viewing their friends as enemies. We're talking about playing with random people that shoot you in the fucking back and steal all your goddamn weapons and don't know how to share anything they're doing. I forgot your question. um, the flow. Uh, I wouldn't. I don't want to say constant flow. Just in the beginning, Brandon. In the beginning, it's like building that foundation. We gotta build that. After the foundation is built, now it's up to you to build the house on top of that foundation. But you're gonna need help building that foundation. I'm saying they're mad because it's creating a global. I feel that's a lot to put on video games, Sin. I feel like that's a lot to put on video games. I read the chat. I'm reading everything you saying, Sin. What you talking about? I ain't got to reread the chat. Let's go back to the beginning. See, look at the. I'm going back to your first comment. Look at this shit, Sin. You see how you switching it up on baby? How about you go back, Sin? You go back and reread because your boy, the Pootster, been on the same shit since the beginning. Let's read the first thing you said. I think video games, you didn't even say competitive video games in the beginning, Sin. You didn't even say competitive. You switched that up after, but it's okay. It's okay. Let's keep going. I think video games have fucked up people. You didn't even say teens at the beginning. You said people. Then you said kids have no trust in anyone, not even their friends. That's from years of shooters and other competitive games. You added that in there. Your teammates are also your foes. You got to be better. Comparison and competition fucks you up mentally. Now that's not what you continue to go on. If we go back to your beginning premise to say kids have no trust in anyone because of video games, that come on. No, kids' trust are not being fucked. If we just go back to your first comment, kids' trust is not being fucked up because of video games. That's not the same. If your teammates are your foes, because I mean, if I'm a social media streamer, then technically I'm in competition with everybody. I wouldn't look at any of them as my enemies. I wouldn't look at any of them as my foes. Competition is not the same as an enemy. Competition can be healthy or competition can be unhealthy. It seems like you're talking more or less about kids with no guidance who have an unhealthy relationship with video games. That's different. Then you said the fact there are so many toxic players. So now we're talking about toxic players. This is all different. You wouldn't because you're not depressed. You can gather up most of the people that call themselves depressed. I promise you, I've hated life much more than them. I've hated my life much more than them. I've wished to spend time in the darkness much more than most people who claim. I've been much lower than most people who claim depression. Not depressed people, but most people who claim depression, I have been much, much, much lower than. Much lower than. But these are different. I'm no carpenter either. Yeah. You gotta ask for help. Well, it's sin. Why is anybody yelling at anybody? Dude, like this, I feel like you're talking like if we were talking let's let's are you I don't even know what to say, Sin. I disagree with you so much, but I don't even know how to. Dude, you're talking about kids that not. We're talking about kids that are on the headset yelling. You can, these, there's always a group of shitty people like that. That's everywhere. Even if you go to sports, in sports, you got teammates that you like, and then you got teammates that are assholes. Like that's not really, that's not anything new. That's the same old, same old. And the crazy thing is, throughout this whole thing, I don't even disagree with the fact that video games are pretty, they can be pretty bad. They can be pretty damaging, but come on, we talking about porn, baby. We talking about the granddaddy of all. You're talking about pro gamers. They at least go out to events and shit. You get addicted to porn. But then again, now we're also talking about addiction. Hold on, Sin. Hold on, Sin. Something just popped in my mind, and I might now agree with you, Sin. I might actually agree with you. Let's say let's say, is it worse to have an addiction to video games or an addiction to porn? That's different. That's different. See, because this would be like, is it worse to have an addiction to cigarettes or an addiction to rhino horn? It's like, well, rhino horn, that's harder to get. So that's a little different. Is it worse to have an addiction to video games or an addiction to porn? I might actually say it's worse to have an addiction to video games, especially competitive video games. Yes. Only in that context. Is it worse to have an addiction to competitive video games or is it worse to have an addiction to porn? It only in that goddamn context. I think it would be worse to have an addiction to competitive video games. But is porn or competitive video games more addictive? Porn. Is porn or video games more dangerous? Porn. There's no question. There's no question about that. But once you're hooked, it's kind of like how dangerous it is to be hooked by cigarettes, not so much because of how dangerous they are, which they are, but because of how convenient it is. See, like we were talking about with porn, there's a shame, so you got to kind of hide, and you can play video games everywhere. So if you're addicted to video games, you can do that shit on the bus. You can have your phone. You can start to develop problems in your neck because you're never looking. At the very least, being addicted to porn, you at least know you can't be doing that shit everywhere. You gotta wait till you get home. I mean, or at least go out in your car or something with a video game. Yeah, but only in that context, Sin. Only in that context. You ain't got flap cat. I'm not talking about for just you, baby. Come on. You think more people fucking Sin? Statistically, do you think more people beating a dick or playing video games? Stop playing. Cut it out, Sin. Cut it out. You think you don't there's no way you think more people are playing video games than beating their dicks right now. There's no way you think that. I would really hope you don't think that, Sin. I'm pretty sure at any given time, probably like half the population. What? Sin, you're crazy. I can't even respond to you no more, Sin. You're talking crazy now. You are literally talking crazy right now, Sin. There's no way. There's no way. Not just porn. He also masturbate. There's no way. There are more people playing video games than there are people masturbating right now. Let alone, I mean, there's no way. There's no way. I'm still thinking of, dude, there's a 70-year-old. If what percentage of the population that's teenagers masturbate, play video games? These would be very comparable. Let's take it up to 50 years old. What percentage of 50-year-olds masturbate versus play video games? It's much different. See, as soon as you start masturbating, that percentage is always up here. Let's say you started at 15, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75. You masturbating the whole motherfucking way through your life. It's not the same with video games. A lot of people don't play video games. A lot of people don't enjoy video games. A lot of people say they don't masturbate. I don't know about that. And we just talking about porn. That's like, there's people out there masturbating, watching you through the window. Come on now. We, dude, we don't even. You just know. You know it, Sin. You just know it. You've met people that don't play video games. You ain't never met nobody that don't masturbate. They might have told you they don't, but you ain't never met nobody. All them old people out there that don't play video games, they still masturbate. They still masturbate. That again, see, we talking to the G poo, baby. We talking to the motherfucking G poo. That's an easy question. All of these, come on now. Come on, Sin. You know that's an easy answer. That's an easy answer, Sin. Easy answer. I forgot you grew up middle class. You grew up middle class. So you may think the doors versus it's not what do I think, baby. It's a goddamn guarantee which one it is, baby. It's a guarantee. On Sin, you know the answer to that, Sin. Stop playing. Obviously. Obviously. The answer is wheels. Obviously. It's not what I think it. You talking to the G Poot now, and the G Poot's tipsy. And the G Poot's tipsy, so you already know. The answer is wheels. The answer is wheels. Oh, man. Hold on. Now I gotta correct this. Man, I'm over. Hold on, Sin, because I just had somebody respond to me on Reddit thinking they whooping the scoop. You got so many people. These people really think. Hold on, let me get this. Let me add a scene. We got to do this. Boom. Okay. Okay. Give me 1 second. We got somebody running off at the goddamn mouth over here on Reddit, and I'm gonna have to set this straight before I get too tipsy, and I can't do it no more. Give me a second here. Oops, wrong one. Not the display capture. Window capture. Boom. All right. All right. What's that say? Show view all comments. All right. Let me record this video real quick. Poppy, I was hoping you would just show up to my live stream or something. I did say I was gonna make you a video. Hold on, let me flip this around so people know what I'm talking about. I was chatting with Poppy over here on Reddit, and my question was, can you name one thing more important than context? I believe there is nothing in this world more important than context. It's more important than the question and the answer. Let's see what Poppy said. First, I'm pretty sure Poppy downvoted me, but that's okay. He said clean air. Clean air is more important than context. Okay, let's say somebody's drowning to death and you could conversate with them and you ask them, what would you rather have? You can stay down here for 3 or 4 more minutes and you can come up to the cleanest, freshest air you can imagine, or you can come up right now, but the air's going to be dirty. Nobody's picking clean air. Am I saying clean air is not important? Of course, clean air is important, but in what context? Let's say I come home and I'm speaking to my parents. I'm in high school. I come home broken goddamn heart. I got bullied this day, and I'm like, Dad or Mom, whoever you got, like, just they're everybody's picking on me at school. I don't know what to do. I'm starting to hate myself. And my father looks me in my fucking eye and says, I just changed the air filters. This air is clean. What the hell are you talking about? What? What? How the fuck does that help? That makes no sense. So, in the context of someone struggling with life, clean air is not important. And now, I'm not saying clean air is really not important. Come on now, context. Now, let's see what else they said. Clean water, too. Clean water is important as hell. But to what? Clean air is important. To what? Let's say technological advancement. Our air, our water in America, it's cleaner than China, but they're technologically ahead of us. So, as far as technological advancement goes, clean air and water wouldn't be the key. There's other things that are key when it comes to technologically advancing. Does that mean what? No, does that mean water and food aren't important? Of course not. But in what context are we speaking? In what context are we speaking? Now let's scroll down. Food is definitely more important if one starts from the position that staying alive is the most important goal for oneself. This is where I thought they slipped up a little bit. I said, you just completely, if one starts from the position, that is context. If your own life is not your top priority, you should get therapy. Soldiers, foster home parents, there are many of positions in life where you put someone else ahead of you. Now, we could get philosophical and we can say you do that for your own well being. Sure, sure. But self sacrifice is a thing. Not everybody can only worry about their dreams. Some people's entire life is giving it up for their nation. And they're okay with that because they identify with their nation. When you say, if oneself is not priority, well, what if I consider my family a part of myself? What if I consider my neighborhood a part of myself? What if I consider my nation a part of myself? So again, you might want to dig into that a little bit deeper, just a little bit. Let's flip it around. I responded by saying, by this logic, as long as my home in my town has clean air, then I have absolutely nothing to worry about. Then you don't understand logic. You have chosen to prioritize things and place them simply as the most important thing. I've named three things more important than your top priority. Okay. My question was, what's more important than context? Do you see how this person named multiple things, but they're not really paying attention to anything I'm saying? I did not ask, name something more important than my priority. I'm trying to teach people, show people through example that nothing is more important than context. But we really can't understand that if we make no effort to try to understand things a little bit deeper than what's going on with us right now in this moment. But again, Poppy, I do greatly appreciate your feedback. I greatly appreciate your contribution to the chat, and I'm gonna give you another award. Yeah. There we go. There we go. We good now. I apologize, people. Let me get back to it. Let me give Poppy here an award. Give award. What are we going to give him? Let's give Poppy. Let's give him. Take my power. Yeah, let's give him that. Let's give him that. All right. All right. Let's close that up. I apologize. Well, I don't apologize. There's no reason to apologize there. All right, let me pull the chat back up. All right. Wait, no. So, are we still here? Was there? Oh, there was. Where were we at? Are we good? Is everything good? All right. Are we back? Exactly, Sin. That's what I'm thinking. What they say, clean. What if? What if I am testing the surrounding areas looking for carbon monoxide? What if I'm testing carbon monoxide poisoning in a house? Clean air does me no good. I'm looking for a carbon monoxide leak. I need to find that air. There are plenty of instances, and that sounds so trivial, but that understanding is the understanding that your life is not the only fucking thing going on at the moment. A lot of people don't understand that. Or they'll hear me say that and they'll think that I'm saying, oh yeah, anyway, Sin, do you disagree with what I said about wheels? There are. Yeah. You thought I would. Why would you think I would say doors, Sin? It's super obviously wheels. Super obviously. Now let me upload this video to YouTube. Upload a video. Next. Can you name one thing more? Video response. All right. Come on, Sin. Come on, Sin. Where do we want to start? Where do we? There just is. I mean, there just is. What were you going? Were you going to say? Were you going to say doors, Sin? Come on. I understand, Sin, but this one, it's kind of undisputable. This one is kind of undisputable. Okay, first, the only argument most people have for doors. Now you know the Jeep who done thought about this endlessly, and this isn't one that has to do with emotions, so it's not really like a context. No, this one has an answer. It's wheels. The only argument people have for doors is skyscrapers, but in every skyscraper there are laundry areas. We'll skip that one. I'll pull that one up later. Let's just talk about warehouses, because you middle class folks don't know nothing about it. Let's talk about warehouses, okay? Let's talk about warehouses. Okay, I'm boom. Pull up that brake. Every warehouse has things like this, multiple things like this. Every warehouse has over hundreds of thousands, and that's just one warehouse. One warehouse easily has hundreds of thousands of wheels. Like this right here, hundreds of thousands of wheels. Also, warehouses have bay doors. Every bay door has 10, 20 wheels on it. Now, we're not even talking about, cars, because cars, that evens out. The cars even out because, you got 18 wheelers that got more wheels, but then blah, blah, blah. Warehouses alone have millions and millions and millions of wheels. Once we start talking about machinery, wheels goddamn galore. You don't need that many doors on machinery. So just machinery alone, dude, it's not even fucking close. One warehouse can have 100, 200, 300, a million. I'm not even joking. One warehouse can have a million fucking wheels in it. A million fucking wheels in one warehouse. Let alone there's 25,000 warehouses in the United States, let alone other dude, it's not even fucking close. It's not even close. You won't find any warehouse with 100,000 doors unless we're talking about a goddamn door warehouse. But then we can look at wheel warehouses. It's not even close, baby. It's not even close. Those skyscrapers. Also, a lot of times in the kitchens, they'll have those wheelie things. A lot of times, the laundry areas, they'll have those wheelie things where you push down the conveyor belt of wheels. It's not even close, baby. And I would love to hear you disagree. I would love to hear where we gonna find this many goddamn doors at. Yeah, I feel like I don't know if you can go against that one, baby. I don't know if you can. 100,000 wheels per warehouse. That's going to be a challenging one, baby. That's going to be a challenging one. All right, let me edit this. Let me change this thumbnail here. Not really digging that. I don't like none of these thumbnails. That sucks. Add a description. Save. Share video. Copy the link. Go to Reddit. I disagree with you completely. Would love a response where you disagree. I just relapse. Relapse with what? What are you talking about, master? What are you talking about, master? I lied about everything. Most people just never worked in warehouses, man. The first time I read that thing and I went to work, I was like, oh, yeah, it's definitely wheels. It's definitely wheels. Why are you trying to stop watching porn? Let's just work on the percentages. Let's work on those percentages, Planet. Whatever, however, do you treat it like do you treat porn like a reward, or how do you treat porn? Like, for example, smoking. I do that. Smoking isn't the problem for me. Smoking at the wrong time is the problem to me. Is the problem for me. Do you treat your masturbation like a reward? Maybe don't stop masturbating. Maybe only wait. You just masturbated when we were in the middle of the stream. That's hilarious. Maybe only masturbate after 20 push-ups. See, I stopped getting mad at video games because I started charging myself push-ups. I used to get so fucking angry at video games. But then I changed it to if you get angry, do push-ups. If you can't do push-ups, stop playing the game. Just start charging yourself playing it. Don't even stop masturbating. Just charge yourself. Like when you start getting that urge, like, okay, let me do 20 push-ups real quick and then I'm gonna masturbate. That's fine. Just do the push-ups first. Just charge yourself. Don't try to stop masturbating. Charge yourself. Charge yourself, baby. Do some push-ups. You want to beat off? Do 20 push-ups. No problem. After you knock those 20 push-ups out, then you can go ahead and enjoy your masturbation. You're going to get to a point sometimes where you masturbate multiple times in a day and you can't even do the push-ups and it's like, shit. You're going to get to the point where masturbation will pop up in your head and it's like, oh, I really don't want to do push-ups right now. And as long as you are true to that, you will start to masturbate more responsibly. But trying to cut it out, dude, if you try to cut it out, that just activates that little demon inside. You read the book, or if you haven't listened to the book yet, Outwitting the Devil, go listen to that. As soon as you tell that energy, I'm going to stop doing, dude, you're just activating the energy. That's all that happens there. I kind of meditate or masturbate or both. Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people probably watch porn and play, and they probably do both at the same time. I'm sure plenty of people do both at the same time. I started falling in love. Easiest way to break a physical challenge. Some pain. Oh, you flip it then. I just said charge yourself. You can charge yourself with something different. Your arms hurt, you can do planks. Your chest hurt, you can do leg lifts. You can do squats. You can find something. And if you need a rest day, rest from masturbation. You too tired to do push-ups, but you ain't too tired to masturbate. I mean, you got to hold. It all comes down to holding yourself to a higher standard. If you're not going to hold, there's what is it? If you want an excuse not to, I love this quote. If you want an excuse not to do something, just think of one. Dude, I fucking love that quote. It seems so simple. It's really not. If you want an excuse not to do something, just think of one. They're all the fucking same. Like it doesn't matter. I can't go to the gym. I broke my arm. Fucking excuse. Like I can't go to the gym. Somebody died. Fucking excuse. I mean, an excuse is any reason not to do something. That's what an excuse is. If you're not going to hold yourself to a fucking standard, then it's just what's going to happen. Some excuses are better than others, but they're all excuses. As long as you can accept that, some excuses are better than others, but they're all goddamn excuses. As long as you can accept that you're making an excuse, you can tell yourself it's a good excuse, but you're still making an excuse. Excuses are damn dangerous because they're never ending. Dude, that's what if you want an excuse not to do it, there is nothing that you can't think of an excuse not to do. But I'm glad you said tool because it is a tool and it's a hell of a tool. It's just a very fucking dangerous one. almost like cauterizing a wound. You should never cauterize your own wound. You shouldn't do that. There's almost never a reason to do that, but sometimes it is needed. Excuse me while did he say touch the? I thought he said kiss the sky. But then again, I'm not much of a Jimi Hendrix listener. I think I'm falling in love. YouTube essays. What's a drama YouTube essay? What are you talking about? Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Sin, you need to fully take my You better start taking my videos seriously. Telling you to take my videos seriously. Hey, I might have to dig into that hole. Dig into that. I might have to dig into that. I might have to dig into that one of these streams. I only watched the short one. Yeah, I just I'm glad you reminded me of that. I was laying in bed about to go to sleep when I seen they showed up, and I was like, I'll check them later. And I never did. I watched the shorter one. The one where it's saying don't stare at the background. I watched that one. I didn't watch the longer one yet. I did not watch the longer one yet. Let me delete this scene. I'm wondering if that guy on Reddit is going to respond to my video. People always got some little slick shit to say until I hit him with that response. And then it's like, oh, I had no idea he thought about it so deeply. Yeah, you did the one that had a not the you only made 2 videos. Would you Yeah, the short one. I thought that was a shorter one. I watched half of the one with the don't stare at the background. I didn't watch both of them, no. I'm going to. I was curious if you sent me those so I could post them or if you already posted them. But I did make my TikTok. Dude, I got so excited. On TikTok, there's a feature where people ask questions and you can respond with a video response. That's interesting. Well, it depends. And if you're if you're giving them to me to post, then I got to tell you what I think. If you're going to post them, I'd rather not give you any feedback at all. If you posting them, Sin? Because if you're posting them, I don't want to give you any feedback. I just want you to post them. If you're sending them to me to post, that'll be different. Ah, man, come on, man. I need other people to be posting my shit. That's how people know. That's how people know it's worth it. No, I can't. Dude, there is always a right answer with these would you rather's. I feel like these are traps. Most of these is like, dude, there's an obvious. I said this yesterday. There's an obvious right or wrong with most of these questions. You just got to think about them a little bit. Fucking 11 feet out of 9. What are you talking about? Best friend. What the fuck is a best friend quote? A real friend is one who walks when the rest of the world walks out. People think that bullshit, but you got to be careful with that because a lot of your friends will stay with you. A lot of your friends will stay with you just because you're fucking going through some shit. A lot of people, they deal with trauma after trauma after trauma, and they don't know that their friends are just kind of trauma bonded. A lot of people, when you start doing good, that's when you should really judge your friends. When you're doing good, see what that does to them. Because when you're down and out and everything around you is shitty, you'll have people who are also down and out who stick beside you. I'm not saying to give no credit to the people who stick beside you through the dark times, but also who sticks beside you through the good times. Pay attention to the people that when you give them good news, they don't give a fuck. Pay attention to the people that when you tell them your dreams, they're not happy for you. Pay attention to the people that when you progress, they got no congratulations. Don't only look at the goddamn people that when you're suffering, they're right there with you suffering. We all know misery fucking loves company. Come on, people. Lots of people want to ride with you in the limo. But what you want is someone who will take the bus with you when the limo breaks down. Or somebody that got a fucking car. You got friends that's riding in a limo, but then when your limo breaks down, all they got is a bus? What the fuck? So you're telling me you're just hanging out with people that can do nothing for themselves? I don't know if this is a good idea. How about lots of people will ride the limo with you, but what you want is somebody that'll let you borrow your car, borrow their car when the limo breaks down. Somebody that'll take the fucking bus with you. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Oprah? You ain't got no fucking broke friends. You hear this bullshit? Somebody that'll take the bus with you. I don't want friends that gotta take the fucking bus. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Uh, well, because it's about you, Sin. When people post videos about me, I want it to be from how they see me, not how I see me. Everything I watch about me is cringe. I hate rewatching my shit. What's up, Fluff? How you feeling, baby? How you feeling? How you feeling, baby? Look, and people think this shit. If you live to be 100, I hope I live to be 100 minus one day, so I never have to live without you. Bitch, then that means I gotta live without you. Why? So you don't want to deal with the pain, but you want me to deal with the pain? Is that really a friend? Is that really? I mean, maybe. A lot of people they got friends. I would really encourage you to question exactly what it is you calling a friend. Don't get me wrong. I've asked myself if I get married and I get old, would I rather die before my wife? Well, no, I'd rather her die first because I would not want her to deal with the pain of not having me, unless of course she wanted to die first and she could. But this whole I hope I live less time than you just want me to deal with the pain. I don't know if that's fair, Winnie. That's a Winnie the Pooh quote. Yeah, I don't know if that's fair, buddy. I don't know if I think that's cute. Let's scroll down a little bit. Things are never quite as scary when you got a best friend. Yeah, that's cute. Yeah, that's cute. Except the fact that a lot of people got toxic ass friends. A lot of people wouldn't even be dealing with half the shit that they're calling scary if it wasn't their friends there telling them the shit is scary. A lot of people wouldn't even realize half of the shit. A lot of people wouldn't even go through half the shit they go through if they didn't keep the fucking people around them that they keep around them. A lot of people's lives would be completely drama free if they would just get rid of the goddamn drama. Why not put the clip up on the stream so everyone else can give you advice if you're too scared to get? Wait, what are you talking? What are you talking about, Sin? What am I scared of? What you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. What clip? What are you talking about? You're editing for both of us, Sin. Come on now. You want to be known as one of the best editors out there, baby? You want to know? Come on now, baby. Have you ever? Yes, I have. That Winnie the Pooh, where Winnie the Pooh is a fucking killer. Yep. And they're putting out it's Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. That's what it's called. And Bambi. They're putting out Bambi, and Bambi's going to be a deer that kills people. So yeah, Bambi's about to be a murderer. And then you ain't got to be the best, Sin. You just got to work on being the greatest. You ain't got to be the best. You just got to be the greatest. And if you working with, if you the Bambi didn't come out yet, they're working on that now. But it's gonna be a deer that murders people, murderous. I don't know if the trailer's out. The trailer might be out there. Bambi gonna be out there murdering folks. Real friendship is when your friend comes over to your house and then you both take a nap. I'm not even going to respond to that. Real friendship is when you fuck. I'm not even going to respond to that. We'll just go to the next one. Friendship is born the moment when one person says to another, "What? You two?" I thought I was the only one. Now we just got too fucking weak-minded. We got too, no, I'm sorry, not weak-minded. We got too close-minded, shallow-minded goddamn people. For one, people, take this as a lesson. Take this as a lesson, please. Never in your life say, "I thought I was the only," fucking stop. You really thought you were the only one? Really? 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 You really thought you were the only one? Really? When people say that, "I thought I was the only one that liked ketchup on my eggs," you thought you were the only one. If friendship is born at the moment when somebody says, how about, I'm not being your friend at the fucking moment you say, "Wait, you too? I thought I was the only one." I'd be like, "Dude, we're not going to work. We're not going to work. We're not going to work." That would be my response. That would be my response. Get away from me. That's what I would say. "I thought I was the only one. You are now. Get away from me." That's what I would say. Don't make friends who are comfortable to be with. Make friends who will force you to level yourself up. And then if we scroll up, real friends are people that take naps at your house. I definitely agree with number 7. I have very little to say against that. Don't make friends who just want you to never change. They just want you to stay the same your whole life. Don't make friends with those type of people. Don't make friends with people that get upset when you change. You would think that's sin, but I've seen people fall asleep in public places. That's what I was about to say. I've seen plenty of people fall asleep in public places. I've seen people. Dude, this happened like a few months ago. When at work, when you go into the bathroom, if nobody has been in there, the light turns on because it has an automatic light. I went into the bathroom the one day. The light turned on. I'm pissing, and some guy comes out of the stall. He went to sleep in the bathroom. He went in the bathroom and went to sleep during work hours. I don't even get it. I don't even get it. Here's a level up. Stop avoiding. Give me your opinion on the video. I don't know what video you're talking about. How can I level up? One-on-one time with the poop baby. You need to pay for some consultation with the poop baby. I level you up. I get you leveled up. You can level up by editing my goddamn videos. That's what you can do. You start sharing my videos, you'll get a bunch of hate. You'll get a bunch of hate. Sleeping on the toilet can cause hemorrhoids. People that go to sleep at work, their life is going to be much more treacherous than a little bit of hemorrhoids. Going to sleep on the fucking toilet. Friendship marks a life even more deeply than love. Love risks degenerating into obsession. Friendship is never anything but sharing. Who the fuck is Ellie Weissel? Let's look her up. She sounds like she grew up with no problems in life. I gotta see who this is. I guarantee this person had a good fucking life. Actually, I can't guarantee that at all. I can't even close to guarantee that. I can't even close to guarantee that. Oh shit. No, this was actually a survivor of the Holocaust. So I am wrong as wrong can be. Feels good to be wrong. Okay, well now let's look at that again. Let's look at that again. Shit. Let's look at that shit again. See, I'm gonna reread it because now I got a new respect knowing this motherfucker made it through. Let me see. Friendship marks life even more deeply than love. Okay, okay. Love, risk. I mean, but shouldn't the people that you love also be your friends? And when you say friendship is, I can't disagree with that completely. Friendship is never anything more than sharing, but you could share shitty things. That's where it gets tricky. You can share shitty things. I don't know if that's necessarily good. And he also comes from a time where, because of how far back this person was born, they were born before you would look for your love interest to also be your friend. I agree with what they're getting at, but like I said, they were born before relationships were more about compatibility and they were more about functionality. Your love, if degenerating into obsession, that might not be healthy. There's a right and wrong way. I don't fully disagree with this one. I don't fully disagree with that one. That's what I'm thinking. There are different types of love. There's different types of. I swear you be class. What's class shaming? What's that mean? Talk about what does class shaming mean? What does that mean? Tell me what that means. What does class shaming mean? Acknowledging that people with more money have certain advantages? That's class shaming? I want more money. I want to be in those higher categories. I'm not shaming them. I'm pointing out that there's a lot of people that grew up financially okay and they don't understand that all the shit they go through, poor people also go through, but don't have the one thing that they're kind of not appreciating. So when I see people that are financially okay and they don't put that into everything they fucking say, the people that don't acknowledge on a daily basis, oh my God, me grown, poor people are stupid as fuck. Then what are you hearing? Most poor people are fucking dumb. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Most poor people are fucking idiots. But growing up poor puts you in a position where you have more opportunity to pay attention to things. But there's also the double-edged sword where you're poor, so you kind of don't give a fuck. There's a reason Buddha gave up everything he had, because you need to understand that level of suffering for wisdom to truly be cultivated. So growing up poor doesn't make you even close to wise. Growing up poor just puts you at a disadvantage. You have to be, yes. All I hear is blah, blah. I'm avoiding. You know why that's all you hear? Because you grew up middle class, son. You grew up middle class. That's why that's all you hear. You growing up going on vacations and shit. Going on vacations, getting stuff on Christmas. You hear this guy. Ain't never had to worry about his heat getting turned off. uh, I'm mostly fucking with you. Mostly. Don't get me wrong, though. People that got money and don't appreciate what that brings with life, that's scary. That's scary. Glenn, what's up, baby? Ooh, shit, look at that. Goddamn. I like that. A true friend never gets in your way unless you happen to be going down. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that. Look at this sin. You reading this sin? Anything is possible when you have the G Poot supporting you. Do you see that sin? Anything is possible when you have the G Poot supporting you, sin. You see that? That's pretty much what it said. I had so much guilt from getting a retainer. I avoided it because I knew it cost my parents a lot. A retainer? What's that? What's a retainer? What's a retainer? What are you talking about? What is that like? I don't know what you're talking about, man. Oh, you have. I'm sorry. Rich people problems. Rich people problems. See where I'm from. Where I'm from, people just got fucked up mouths. But yeah, feel bad because your parents could afford braces. I knew what a retainer was. I was just trying to set you up for that one. I'm just fucking with you, Sin. I'm just fucking with you, baby. Yeah. I mean, if you got them, Sin, can't afford a retainer, can't afford groceries. I mean, a retainer kind of doesn't matter to me, Sin. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, baby. You don't appreciate that you grew up middle class. This is my only problem with you upperclassmen. You don't appreciate it. I never see somebody that grew up financially okay that appreciates growing up financially okay. You're talking about a retainer. I didn't even. Most people ain't even got health insurance. Now I'm not. Now hold on. Everything I'm saying, in the back of my mind, I'm like, dude, there's poor people in there's poor people in Detroit. There's poor people down the street that ain't even eating. So I'm still keeping everything in perspective. I just feel like people that are higher up, maybe they don't sometimes, it seems like. If you shit, Mr. Fluff, if you can't laugh at yourself, baby, if you can't laugh at yourself, go and wait, what you talking about? You're, dad. What is this middle class stuff you talking about with dads? See, where I'm from, son, we ain't got dads. I need more ice in my drink. My drink is out of ice. What? God, I couldn't imagine that being the worst. Didn't they used to use like? Actually, my feelings fell. Much like I was like, yeah, they used to use mercury. They used to use something else that was horrible. And mercury got to be worse than gold. Look, Sin grew up rich, okay? Sin talking about his vacation home. Sin talking about the air conditioning in his vacation home only went down to 72, and that was suffering. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm definitely joking. People with money still have pretty fucking hard lives. In fact, there's kind of a trick there. There's kind of a trick there because when you got a little bit of money, people look at you like you should have a good life. People look at you when you got money like it don't even matter what you feel. You got money, you should be happy. That's not accurate. That's not accurate. I just gotta. I need to go to the dentist. I skipped my last like 4 goddamn dentist appointments. Um, see, sin, it's a people in middle class always think they got there because their parents worked. Yes, yes, but also opportunity. There's a little more. It's a little more than just working, because I mean, there's a plenty of poor people that got 3, 4 fucking jobs. So there's more than just working hard. There's also like working smart, but working smart comes with opportunity. You need a little bit of opportunity. But then again, we're talking about different types of poor. We talking about European poor is a little different than American systematic poor. That's kind of like intentional. But then again, I'm not taking away from your struggle. I'm just saying in every struggle, we also have to have a certain level of appreciation that our struggle is not as bad as what our struggle could be. That's no matter where you are, myself included, no matter who you are, to keep your struggles in the proper light, you must understand that your struggles are a blessing to someone else. Oh, that's a whole. Now, if we start talking about elite families, that's a whole different type of money right there. That's money and power. Once we start talking about money and power, I don't know nothing about that, baby. I don't know nothing about that. I dream of money. I never really dreamed of power. That's a different thing there. I don't know if that's just my insecurity belief. I don't know. I don't know. Power's a different thing. That's beyond money right there. What opportunities growing up in Newcastle when my pops was chased home every day by racist whites. His mom was a nurse and paid for the well, you owned a house. I'm guessing his mom owned a house. See again, ownership. You owned a house. People in the hood don't own shit. I'm just talking about poor Americans, man. I'm not saying y'all didn't struggle. I'm just saying it's different. I'm just saying. So you talking about paying the rent? You talking about paying the bills? Not so much paying for the house. Not so much paying for the house. I'm not saying people in other places don't struggle. Just saying the systematic oppression in America is a little more intentional. Like it's proven that the poor people in America were put there systematically recently. Well, I know it's not the USA. I know. I'm just talking about poor people. I'm just talking poor struggle. It does suck. It does suck that our pain's going. I'm about to be streaming on what's it called? TikTok. We'll see what that's like. That looks like a much different vibe. Again, not saying no, I wouldn't go that far. Definitely means definitely. Yeah. No, I can't say definitely there. I'm sure there's other places that are more racist than America. However you want to see it, sin. This is what I'm talking about, though. Middle class people usually don't. They know they. I mean, you struggled and all of that, but you still had a blessing. You still had a blessing. I'm being as poor as I grew up. Know that I'm blessed because people had it much worse. Yeah, yeah. But then there are people who have it worse. That's all. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is there are people who had it worse. There are people who didn't have that opportunity or were addicted to drugs and blah, blah, blah. I'm not saying your struggle wasn't a struggle. I'm saying you got to keep it in perspective. That's all I'm saying here. That's all I'm saying here, Sin. Oh, he's not. No, I'm not. Sin, are you just? I'm not. I'm assuming, Mister Fluff, you're not talking to Sin because Sin's not wallowing in his struggles. That's not what Sin's doing right now. Okay. You are talking to, you're saying not him or no, comma him. I'm not sure if you're saying not him or no, then comma. I mean, no one should. Okay, yeah, he's not. He's not. Yeah, but he's not. I'm saying I know my parents' shit upbringing, so I'm appreciative. I never forgot where my fam came from. I mean, if we wallow, we can't grow, but if we reflect, we can definitely grow. We got to make sure we don't confuse wallowing with reflecting. Very fine line. Very, very fine line. I guess the question is, what are you looking back on it for? That would be the line right there. Are you reflecting to see things that could be extracted for wisdom, or are you reflecting just to feel bad? Wallowing in your struggle leads to business. I don't know about that. I don't know, but definitely reflecting and understanding your struggles leads to success. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I'm still reading these goddamn friendship quotes. Well, we talking reflection. We ain't necessarily talking wallowing. Wallowing isn't really a good thing. You don't want to be doing that. Mm. Unless, of course, you are wallowing to heal. There's some there, and of course, context. There are moments where you may need to wallow, but as long as you do it consciously, you're fine. You're fine. Everything needs to be done consciously. Oh, but yeah, but and then you told me that, man. Who was that said I'm supposed to try to be like Manosphere nonsense? And I don't even want to get into that. Don't even get me into that sin. See, I think most of my pride comes from the fact that I'm solid as fuck. In 10 years, I'm not gonna. I was so wrong back then. I was so wrong. That won't happen in 10 years. That's not going to happen to me in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years. There's not going to be, and that sounds ignorant on the surface. It's anything but that. I am not going to have a point in my life where I'm like, oh, I was so wrong about everything. That's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to turn 50 and be like, oh man, I wish, if only I knew, if only I knew that I didn't know. That's not going to be one of my things. You look up advice from 70-year-olds and shit on YouTube. It's always the same. I didn't know. I had no idea. No, baby, no. Cut the racist some slacks. This one Brown family made fun of me. Now they're head of a giant political movement. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't have much respect on where you are and how do you feel. That's all I give a fuck about. How do you feel? It's cool to be ahead of this and in charge of that and have this. How do you feel? Because if you're a millionaire and you hate life, you're losing. You're losing the fucking game. If you're the head of a this and that and you hate your life, you're losing the fucking game. Not even if you're not getting joy out of it, you're losing. And a lot of people are getting no fucking joy. A lot of people are getting no joy at all. Oh, that's one of the most common combinations. Wealth and bitterness. That happens quite often. That happens. You know how many millionaires kill themselves? And we can say it's this and that. It's just that, yeah, yeah, but what? Where does that come from? That comes from not digging in. That comes from people telling themselves, "Oh, when I achieve this, then I'll feel this way. When I get this, then I'll feel that way." And then they get that, and they don't feel that way, and they're confused. They get that, and they don't feel. They get what they said they wanted, but they don't feel like they wanted to feel. This is dangerous. This is oh, Buddha quotes. 101 Buddha quotes. Ain't nobody trying to read about no goddamn Buddha. Ain't nobody trying to read no Buddha shit. I argue with it. He does not think about at all where any of his thoughts have come from and loves to sit back on the Bible defense. Now, sin. Let's just look at this guy and try to rewind. There's no point of arguing. Don't argue with that man. Let's just rewind his life. Go back to when he was just a little child, and he goes to his parents and, "Mom, what does it mean?" God. That's what he grew up with. The Bible said, but what the Bible said, but mom, the Bible said, that's what he grew up with. It's sad. It's when we talk about car manufacturers. Every car manufacturer will have certain inadequacies in a car. Maybe this car can't take a corner as well. Maybe this car isn't as great in the snow. Maybe this car isn't as fast. But then there are people who are built completely wrong. There are some cars that will be recalled because of how incorrectly they were built. He didn't just get like this. He grew up like this when he was but a young boy. That answer was always the answer he got. Mr. Fluff, coming from where I came from, black Americans, a lot of them, they either worship wealth or they think the white man is evil and everybody with money stole to get there. Stop it. Stop it. There's evil rich people, there's evil poor people. There's evil rich people and evil poor people. And don't get me wrong, there's levels to wealth. There's a certain level where it's like, I don't know how you got there with hard work. But then there's a certain level where it's like these people bust their fucking ass. If you're making 100,000, 200,000, you probably bust your ass to make that. If you're making 500 million, I don't know. That's a little different. When you're making 500 million a year, it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of scary. That's a scary amount of money. But then there are people who he's a doctor. Oh, he's evil. The motherfucker make 100,000 a year. Like, stop it. Oh, that fluff. Not only does that, those instances is where the religion has such a beautiful energetic aspect to it that are just thin, thin, thin. Imagine. Put yourself in his shoes for just a second, Sin. Try to like truly try to put yourself in that person's shoes. Truly. Imagine. We are truly bothered by gay people in Chile getting married. Imagine. Imagine. Sin. You woke up this morning and you're like, them fucking gays in Chile getting married. Oh my God. Imagine. Just for a second, try to imagine if that was on your list. Because everything leaves clues, right? Everything leaves clues. So if I get annoyed in traffic. It's safe to say other types of things. I might get annoyed in lines. I might get annoyed with this. If someone is bothered by people getting married and chilling, what else do you think is under that list? Because it's like, okay, if I don't want you to hit my child, it don't matter wherever he's from. What's underneath that? Let's get a list of importance. People getting married, gay people getting married. Okay, now let's put that on. We have a list of things that affect you personally. Where on a scale on 1 to 1,000, we got 1,000. Okay, so 1 to 1,000, gay people getting married. Where would you put that on the list? Where would you put that on your list if you had to put it on from 1 to 1,000? Gay people getting married. How much does that affect you, Sin? 1 to 1,000. Put it on one of them. Put. You got to put it on that list somewhere. On how much it affects your life. Chile. So, if that's in the 400s, that means everything above that, everything with a higher rating bothers you more. Everything with a lower rating, slightly less affecting. If that is something that's worth him arguing about, he would probably put that in his top 10, top 20, which means everything below that would be equally, if not more, superficial. Dude, try to imagine this guy's pain. Gay people getting married is probably in his top 10, meaning all 990 things below are likely more superficial than gay people getting married. Try to imagine his fucking suffering. Do you think he dreams? Do you think he wants anything more? Do you think he's going to be anything? Do you think he's going to find real love, real friendships? If his list, what do you think is under that? Imagine his list underneath gay people getting married. Dude, he will never find peace. He will never find peace. You met someone who will be miserable for the rest of their life. He will be in this middle phase of you can't find peace. You can't find peace if something so superficial is bothering you. You met somebody that will never find peace. You can't be bothered by him, Sin. Usually, compassion would be the opposite of like irritation. This is somebody who you just have to be compassionate for. Exactly. Do you think his wife is now really dig? Do you think his wife is happy? Do you think him and his wife just lays there and she thinks how lucky she is, or do you think she's probably somebody who just they got with him out of convenience? They're just together, and you're looking at. Do you think he's ever going to make her happy? Like seriously, do you think she feels understood? So now we got multiple miserable people in this goddamn story. Dude, if you truly try to put yourself in his situation, it's not a fun life. It's a torturous life. It's a torturous life where he prays that if he can make one person understand why gay people getting married is wrong, that he could feel better about who he is. Wait, what's rude? I'm not trying to be rude or nothing. It's just there's some people, dude, where it's like instead of getting irritated, we gotta have compassion. Like you gotta just have compassion for this guy. It's almost sad. His wife, his life, it's sad. I mean, I would imagine you get a certain pleasure from pleasing a woman. Now, I don't mean sexually, maybe sexually a little bit, but when you do when you can surprise a woman and she's like, oh, I'm so glad you thought of it, like just little things like that. To imagine somebody who doesn't get joy from that, to imagine somebody who doesn't have that, like it's sin. Exactly. Exactly. And she's depressed and in therapy, and guess what type of shit you know how women are emotional. He needs therapy just as badly as she does, if not more. But imagine when she, oh dude, I'm about to like, I'm almost getting sad for her. Imagine when she gets home from therapy, she has nobody to talk to. She's not even going to get better in therapy. She's not. This is like when you send a dog to get trained, but then and the dog gets trained. The dog is fine. You've ever seen them shows with like super nannies where you send the kid to a different family. Now the kid is cleaning, the kid's respectful, then you send the kid back home and the kid's a piece of shit again. Well, it's not the kid's fault, it's the parents. Imagine this woman's life. She grew up with a hard life and found somebody who she thought blah blah, but you know he was just doing bullshit in the beginning, just lying. You know how people are to get the woman. And now she's in therapy. She's trying to be better. Imagine the shit she says. Do you think when she gets back from therapy, he's like, "Hey, honey, how was your session? What'd you talk about? I'm here if you want to talk about any of it." No, no. She's going to be in therapy for the rest of her fucking life, and she's not going to make any progress unless she leaves this guy. Oh, man. That sounds like brutal shit, baby, but that's why does he have those dumb views, Sin? Because he needs to have those dumb views. When you self reflect off your past, when you self reflect off the things you do, when you we've had conversations where you're self reflecting off of your actions. That's painful. He never does that. He never does that. Imagine if instead of self reflecting off your own actions, you just blame somebody else for your actions. Dude, this guy's in a amount of pain that is hard for either of us to imagine. Was that his daughter was uncomfortable because they this is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, Sin. Imagine. Imagine having his mindset in today's time with children, with the wife, moving forward. It's sin. I'm not sin, Fluff. You're not wrong, Fluff. We should be, or we should be conscious who we connect with on emotional levels, because you're going to connect with people. If you go to work, you're going to connect with your coworkers, but you got to be conscious with how that happens. Sin, this is what I'm saying. Sin, I feel bad for these people. Like, dude, think of the moments of joy that you do have and what they come from. Where does his moments of joy come from? How often do you think he just smiles or have that feeling when you rollerblade, dude, and you just got that goofy ass, big ass, beautiful ass fucking smile on? How many activities do you think he has that takes him out of who he is like that? Let's call it power. Let's call it power, Sin. You were annoyed with how much power he gave away when he blamed the government. Dude, he been doing that his whole life. How much power do you think he has left? How much power do you think he has left? Come on, baby. Feel bad for this guy, man. Give this guy some fucking compassion. You got to give him some compassion, baby. You got to give him some compassion. Oh, the LGBTQ stuff it's I don't see us getting to a understanding on that because it's a we can't talk about it. He's oh damn, he's a senior. So he's already almost done. He's already almost done. He done used most of his goddamn life up. Damn, that's just sad, man. Planet asked me earlier, what is my biggest nightmare? Since a child, that is my biggest nightmare. I remember seeing older people who were so stuck in their ways and miserable. To be stuck in your ways at 40 is old enough to be done. 40 is 25 is what's Earl Nightingale? Where is it? 25 is where you're done. If you have not put in the work, you're done at 25. Woo! The strangest secret in the world, baby.
Albert Schweitzer, the great doctor and Nobel Prize winner, was being interviewed in London, and a reporter asked him, "Doctor, what's wrong with men today?"
What's wrong with him?
The great doctor was silent.
What'd he say?
And then he said, "Men simply don't think."
Woo!
And it's about this that I want to talk with you.
He ain't lying.
Today in a golden age, this is an era that man has looked forward, dreamed of, and
Listen
worked
to
toward for
this.
thousands of years. But since it's here, we pretty well
Woo.
take it for granted.
And this is this fucking recording's 50, 60 fucking years old. This shit is even truer today.
Do you know what happens?
Ooh.
Let's take 100 men who start.
Let's take 100 men. Listen to this.
25. Do you have any idea what will happen to those men by the time they're 65?
Woo.
These 100 men who all start
Tell 'em.
even at
Tell
the
'em.
age of 25 believe they're going to be successful. If you asked any one of these men if he wanted to be a success, he'd tell you that he did. And you'd notice that he was eager toward life. That there was a certain sparkle to his eye, an erectness to his carriage, and life seemed like a pretty interesting adventure to him. But by the time they're 65,
Ooh.
1 will be rich.
Ooh.
4 will be financially independent. 5 will still be working. 54 will be broke. Now think a moment. Out of the 100, only 5 make the grade. Why do so many fail?
We ain't gonna listen to the rest of that right now. God damn. I love listening to shit that is 70 years old and still holds up. That whole fucking video, that whole speech holds up completely. That whole speech holds up completely. Oh no, that one wasn't Outwitting the Devil. That one was Earl Nightingale, The Strangest Secret in the World. What up, Nick? I could listen to that whole goddamn recording,
I'd like to tell
baby.
you about the strangest secret in the world. Not long
Where we at?
determined job because that's what he decided to do deliberately.
Deliberately.
But only 1 out of 20 does that. That's why today there isn't really any competition unless we make it for ourselves. Instead of competing, all we have to do is create. Now, for
And this
20
shit
years,
is
I looked
old
for
as
the key
I
was to
love
positive
listening to
terms.
old shit that
Why, for
still
some
holds
strange
up.
reason, it virtually remains a secret.
I love it. You never heard of Earl Nightingale? That's old as shit, but he old as hell. You can hear in his voice when he got that old school radio voice. That old school radio voice that lets people. Oh, it's just as old. I like most of the motivation, most of the shit that I listen to is in the 70s, 60s, 50s. It feels better when it's old like that and holds up. Because it's like, oh, yeah, that was okay. That was because that Outwitting the Devil, dude, that was written in the 70s, and he's talking about propaganda and being addicted to newspapers and TV, and that was before social media. Mr. Fluff reflecting is painful as hell, baby. That's why people don't do it. Today is Friday the 13th. Is being gay gay? Well, it depends, Nick. It depends. That does depend. I was curious, what are you only exactly like Sin said, it's only gay if you do the gay. Are you gay if you don't practice in being gay? Probably. Are you a murderer if you only want to murder but you never do? Well, see, now it's tricky. I never murdered anybody, but every day I think, not this is an example. I really do not think of murdering people. But if you did, if every day you thought of it, but you never did, you're not a murderer. What if every day you think of sleeping with men, but you never do? Are you gay? Probably. See, that's where it gets tricky, Fluff. That's where it gets tricky. You say only if you like it. You say only if you like it. That's where it gets tricky. That's where it gets tricky. I don't think being gay has to do with would you like to have sex. We got to be a little more honest here. We got to be a little bit more. Do you like mustard? It doesn't matter if it's dark. It doesn't matter if it's light. It doesn't matter if you're drunk. You don't fucking like mustard. If you're physically attracted, see, that's where it gets tricky, Fluff. That's where it gets tricky, Fluff. You say if you're physically attracted to the same sex. Now, hold on. Most of the time, you will ask a man, a straight man, would you have sex with another man? He will tell you no. Okay. Why not? He will tell you, I'm not attracted to men. Okay, fair answer. You can ask that same man, would you have sex with an ugly woman? A lot of them would. But why? You're not attracted to the ugly woman. Oh, well, that's where it gets tricky. That's where it gets tricky. Now, I do agree with you. Being attracted, wanting to be with another man, that would be the biggest sign of being gay. But what about the people, the straight people who have sex all the time with women they are not attracted to? I don't know. I don't know. I doubt gay Christians. Those gay Christians. I've never heard the story of the birds and bees. No. How do you do the gay? Pretty much the same way you do the straight, but with a dude. Okay, well then sin. That's the same thing with a man. Are you saying you wouldn't have sex with a man unless you felt bad for him? That's funny. I would never have sex with a man unless I felt bad for him. Now, if we find a man who I feel bad for, I might fuck him. Who knows? I might. I might throw him a bone. I don't think you should feel bad about that, Sin. I think if you fucking women who you're not attracted to, but you're blessing, I mean, you should feel like you blessing these women. That's a gift, baby. That's a goddamn gift right there. Any unattractive woman you have sex with might be. See, that's another tricky one, Sin. That's another tricky one right there. If you say I'm only attracted to women, but then a man dresses up like a good-looking woman. Now what? Now what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? I said I was attracted to women. Now you look like a woman and you're attracting me. How the fuck am I wrong? How am I wrong? How much thinking you want my dick to do? How am I wrong here? It's a little tricky. If I say I like hamburgers and you can make tofu taste just like a hamburger, then what are we doing here? What are we doing here? I'm supposed to not eat the fucking tofu because it's not actually a hamburger? Shit. I like women. They're attractive. So if you look like an attractive woman, I'm supposed to technicality? Come on. What are we doing? I don't know, man. That's what I'm curious about, Sin. When I look at sexuality from a philosophical point of view, it's hard to make any sense of it. It's very hard to make sense of sexuality from a philosophical standpoint. You start to see very quickly when dissecting sexuality philosophically, it's all just made up bullshit. Like literally, it's all just made up. Whatever you wanted, you just whatever you choose, do it. Well, then we would bring animals into the category fluff. So I don't know about being anything you want. But again, that's what I'm saying. Philosophically, once we start talking about do this, do that, what about animals? Well, hold on now. Slow down. Slow the fuck down, Anthony. Slow down. You're getting out of line. You're getting out of line. That's what I'm saying. Philosophically, it's very hard to make sense of any of it. Why do they care, Sin? That's the question, baby. That's the question. That's the question. Ham girl. Ham girl. Wait, what's that mean? Ham girl. Too many people care. Sadly. Sadly. Because their society says so and they listen. Whoa now, whoa now, whoa, Nick, whoa, Nick. Two things. For one, Tony is spelled without an H. Two, I will not goddamn fucking answer to Tony. My name is Anthony. You can call me Anthony. You can call me Anthony. You can call me Ant. You can call me Aunt Dizzy. You can call me. My name is not goddamn Tony. I will not answer to Tony. My name is not fucking Tony. Okay? I'm not Tony. I don't answer to Tony. I ain't never answered to Tony. When people would ask me, they say, "Hey, what's your name?" Anthony. Is Tony okay? No, it's not. That's what I've always said to people. Hey, you don't know how many times. Hey, Anthony, is Tony okay? No, it's not. And I'm gonna fucking ignore you if you call me Tony. Not you, Nick, but other people. What did you ask me? Have you watched Community? Yes, I love the show Community. The last season or two falls off a little bit. It gets pretty weird once Donald Glover leaves, but all the way up until I'm even cool with that. I'm even cool with anything but Tony. You can call me and anything really. Yes, I have watched Community all the way up until the last season. That's probably one of my favorite shows. I heard in Iran a girl can't swim with her own father in a public pool. Illegal. That's weird. I didn't know that, Sin. I didn't know that. Yeah. Thony. I guess technically Thony, I might be okay. You're right, Nick. You did say Thony. You know what? I'm actually okay with Thony. I'm actually okay with Thony. Who do you identify with the most in a Community, Nick? You better not say Abed. You better not say Abed. But which character do you think you identify with the most? Yeah, I really like the show Community. It's just besides that last season. Women and men can't be in closed spaces. Hey, it's Sin. It is insane how different parts of the world are. It's insane. That's weird to even think of. How different parts of the world do it. I would love to be Jeff, but only Jeff can be Jeff. Pierce was cool. Pierce was cool. Troy and I bet in the morning. I learned how to say library in Spanish because of that show. A biblioteca. Two men holding hands. Hey. And then you got places like North Korea, Sin, where we don't even know nothing about them motherfuckers. Where every book in their library was written by the person who controls it. Can you imagine Their library in North Korea are just books written by the leader. that's, that's fucking insane. It's crazy to think how brainwashable humans are. It's better than it's better than Always Sunny. It's better than comparing yourself into people in Always Sunny. Nick, I haven't watched Community. I haven't watched Community in a while, so it would be pretty hard to pick my favorite episode. That's one of the shows that I could probably have you watched How I Met Your Mother, Nick. I want you to watch How I Met Your Mother if you haven't. But that would be a show I could rewatch Community. If I wasn't poor. That is true. That is true, Sin. I forgot that North Korea has that class system where if you're not poor, it's not too bad. If you're poor, you're fucking eating rats and shit. But if you're not poor, it's not too bad. There's a Community movie. Oh, I'm actually going to check that out, Nick. I wonder who's going to be in it. I don't know about North Korea. If living See, but when you say good living or great, or living there would be great, I'm assuming you're not talking, not for you, Sin, not for you, because you want a certain level of knowledge. You want a certain level of wisdom. You couldn't get that in North Korea. You could have a pleasant experience as far as just the release of dopamine, but you're not going to be able to get the level of wisdom that you want. That's what I was thinking because Pierce had that problem at the end. Pierce had that problem where I guess they were saying he was racist. That was at the end. And then Donald Glover left because if Donald Glover and Pierce are in the movie, I would love that. Well, if you grew up in North Korea, yes, but I'm talking about if you just went there now. Of course, if you grew up there, you'd be a totally different person. You'd be a totally different person. I wonder what it would be like to live in Dubai and have money. I wonder what it would be like to live in Dubai and be one of the rich people. Shit, I wonder what it would be like to be rich, period. I don't know. Sin, you ever been to Japan, Sin? I want to go somewhere where like black people, apparently in Japan, black people are really liked. I want to go, so I'm not even black, but I'm black enough. I'm black enough that Japanese people would fucking look at me as black. I want to go somewhere where black people are like really. I know Japan's the only place that I could think of where black people are like damn near celebrities, at least from what I hear, from what I've seen. But I want to go check it out. That whoa, Sin. You ain't wrong. I mean, you're not. Yeah, yeah. That's where it gets tricky. That's where it gets just muddy because does happiness count if your happiness is based in ignorance? I think I can't answer that question now. Does happiness count if your happiness is based in ignorance? Every child's happiness is based in ignorance. So we can't say the happiness of a child does not count because if children did not start off as happy as they are, they would just turn into murderous, ravenous monsters as they grew older. The childhood joy is one of the things that set you up for the rest of your life. But that joy in childhood is based almost purely around ignorance. Does happiness based in ignorance still counts? I think up until a certain point. I think up until a certain point it has to count. But at a certain point, it has to no longer count. No, Fluff, they don't. They can imagine what life is like, but there's a lot of people that watch movies and they dream of what America is like, and it's At least with the movies they get, they have an idea that North Korea is not the only thing there is. So I can agree with you there. But they would also have no idea what it truly was like. Yeah, I know what you mean. They at least have the idea that they at least know that what they're going through is not everything. And that's a big thing. That's very important. Some of the deepest suffering, we were talking about that earlier. Some of the deepest suffering comes from believing you are the only one going through what you're going through. I be spraying some shit. Oh, Sin, you got there's so many things that people just don't want to acknowledge. It's like jail. It's like jail. You become institutionalized because after going to jail, when let's say you're just a fucking drug addict on the street, and then you go to jail, they give you a proper bedtime, a proper meal time, a proper wake up time, exercise time, reading time. They organize your life for you. This is what institutionalized means, where you become dependent on that institution, even though it's not good for you. I think that's where it gets really dangerous. There are people who, as soon as they get out of jail, instantly commit a crime intentionally so they can go back to jail where they feel safe. Yeah, there's a certain comfort, there's a certain joy to being told what to do every day. Would you join the hive mind if we could? No, I didn't say no. Fuck no. But I do think I do think it would be like the internet. Like the internet is extremely beneficial, but you can choose to get on and off the internet. I think it would be amazing if you could put on a helmet that connected you into the hive mind. But to be permanently connected to the hive mind would be no benefit. I don't see what would be the point of that. That is for smaller. When we look at the evolutionary scale, the lower we go down, the more chances you have of running into a hive mind. The higher you go up that evolutionary scale, the less likely it is for you to run into a hive mind. Elephants don't have hive minds. Lions don't. Humans don't. These higher creatures do not have hive minds. When we go down to bees and ants and insects and like these things have a hive mind. I think the evolutionary process made that a kind of a default, like a back. Like there's a reason that there are things higher than the hive mind, but it would be beneficial if there was a way for us to tap into a collective hive mind. But for what though? That would be the thing. But for what? Like efficiency isn't really the goal. Like the goal of humanity is not efficiency. So what? Like if we had a hive mind for what would be the part where we are a higher species because we see the futility of a hive mind. A hive mind is good for bees because all of the bees are trying to build a hive. It's good for ants because they're all doing the same thing. This question goes into, should all humans be focusing on the same goal? This would go into, what is the point of living life? Is it to complete a mission or is it to enjoy it? If it's to enjoy it, some of those people wouldn't be a part of the goal. If the goal is number one, then it gets tricky there. It gets tricky there. Hive mind is good for efficiency, but we would have to go into the debate of, is efficiency the point of life? Oh, Mr. Fluff. I doubt they'll run out of people, Mr. Fluff, but kind of like the Amish. The Amish is starting to run into a problem where there's a lot of inbreeding going on because they're not pulling in new people. I would imagine North Korea will eventually run into a problem where they're not producing enough healthy people. There's studies that show North Koreans compared to South Koreans, and I'm pretty sure North Koreans are South Koreans are on average, I think 6 inches taller, four to 6 inches taller, just because of malnutrition. So if they keep producing, I'm gonna say we as humans, if we keep producing malnourished North Koreans, then the quality of them as humans will continue to go down. They might not run out of people, but they might run out of quality people. That's what I was just. They ain't gonna run out of people. They just might run out of quality people. Perma bliss is shared. Oh, perma bliss sounds horrible. Why would you want to be permanently happy? Yeah, you don't want to be. You don't want to be permanently happy. That sounds horrible. That sound permanently happy sounds horrible. I don't want that. I personally don't want that. Other people can have that. I haven't met too many humans in my existence who I think that person's happier than me. But on the same note, I've experienced tremendous amounts of fucking darkness, tremendous amounts of pain, and I give a lot of credit to my happiness because of that. I don't want permanent bliss. I imagine anything that I consider blissful to keep doing it. I love having sex. I love eating. I love relaxing, to just keep relaxing, to keep having sex. Anything that's joyful, if you keep doing it, now it's torturous. I love eating. Keep eating. Don't stop. Torture. I love having sex. Keep having sex. You can't stop. Now we're talking about torture. No matter, I love hanging out with friends. Keep hanging out with friends. You can't stop. Now we talking about torture. Anything you enjoy, if you keep doing it, now we're talking about torture. No matter what it is, if you keep doing it, it's torture now. You like a cup of water? Keep drinking them. Now we're talking about torture. Am I a quality person? I think you're a quality person, Nick, but that doesn't matter. But do you think you're a quality person? It don't matter what the fuck I think about you, baby. That's what the G Poot is, baby. Is it better for me to think I'm great and no one else agrees? Or is it better for you to think, others to think I'm great and for me to not agree? Is it better for me to think you're a quality person and you don't agree? Or is it better? Got to get you to debate a hive mind specialist as long as they feel better than me. They better not be on medications and have a miserable life and all that bullshit. If their idea of having a hive mind is all about happiness and bliss, they just don't know how to get that on their own. I would love to debate a hive mind specialist because now you're taking away what it is to be a human. What is the point of a hive mind? There are people who believe the point. Find me a hive mind specialist. And I don't mean to class shame here, Sin. Yeah, a hive mind specialist grew up with money. If you're a hive mind specialist, you grew up with money. Just this is what I mean about growing up poor. When you grow up poor, you understand an entire separate part of the population. You, poor people can imagine being rich. Rich people can imagine being poor. It's so just wrong. It's just wrong. It's. I would love to debate a hive mind specialist because I do not see the benefit of a permanent hive mind. Why do you need to be alive? If you're a part of a hive mind, why do you need to be alive? Anybody can take your place. You hold no uniqueness anymore. Fuck your children, fuck your mother, fuck your parents. Everybody in your life can die. None of them matter at all if it's all about hive mind. You don't matter. This ant doesn't matter compared to that, and fuck them all. As long as the mission is being complete, none of the lives matter. If humans ever get to that point, we lost the fucking game, baby. If we ever get to the point where we revert back to acting like ants, we lost the fucking game. We lost the game. Humans did not evolve past the hive mind to still have a fucking hive mind. People, you don't think we started with hive minds? Of course we did. Then we got out of that shit because we got a bigger mission in life than just ants. We got a bigger mission than the pigeons. We have a bigger mission than termites. We got a bigger mission as humans. Hive mind is a tool, like everything else. Hive mind is a tool. To be trapped in the hive mind, well, fuck. I mean, every goddamn bee thinks it's worthwhile to die for the queen. So who programs our hive mind? Now, people that grew up without suffering trust the government a little bit more, trust this a little bit more, so they might not have these type of questions. But when it comes to a hive mind, what's the goal? Who agrees on who came up with the goal? Because if the goal is going to be some utopian idea like world peace or blah blah, that's just not how it works. The ants have a goal, but they can't prevent anything else. Because of their goal, they can't focus on, they can't have some ants do this, some ants do that, some ants do this. It's a different, now, of course, I know there are scouter ants and different ants with different jobs. I know. That's what I'm saying, Fluff. That's what a hive mind helmet would be one of the greatest inventions I can imagine. Permanently being hive minded would be a fucking trap. There was no point. I'd rather die. I'd rather not be alive than to be permanently connected to a hive mind. There's no reason. Why would I need to be alive if I'm permanently connected to a hive mind? I have no purpose. My purpose is a number, and there are plenty of numbers. But a hive mind helmet, I agree with that. I agree with that. When humans work together, I don't want to get too woo woo, but I mean, what is it? What's the God quote? When two or more humans come together in my name, blah, blah, blah. But not a perfect example. Not a perfect example because the Chinese party is communist and a lot of Chinese people don't go with that. A lot of Chinese people escape, or a lot of Chinese people leave, or a lot of Chinese people. A hive mind is no one questions anything. You just do it. An ant will die for the queen. It doesn't matter if the queen is in the middle of killing that ant's brother. The ant will die for the queen. Nothing matters. Even in the USSR, a lot of people don't agree. When Russia attacked Ukraine, a lot of Russians don't agree. A lot of people in Ukraine, if we're being realistic, a lot of people in Ukraine felt they should have done it. Not because they should have, but because people are that different. There are people in America that believes America should burn. So then, of course, there's people in Africa that believe Africa should burn. Of course, there's people in Europe that believe Europe should burn. Of course, there's people in fucking Ukraine that believe Ukraine should burn. Just like there's people in America that believe America should burn. It's we can't ignore these things, but we do. But we do. But we do, sadly. But we do. I appreciate you, Sin. I'm about to get out of here, too. Wait, can I at least tell you what? What you want me to tell you, Sin? What you talking about? Oh, vertical or horizontal? Well, vertical if it's going to be a short. Yeah, if shorts are vertical is better for the shorts, right? I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Unless you disagree with me, I feel like vertical are a little bit better than the shorts. If it's longer, it should probably be vertical, right? But that's what I'm saying. If you disagree, if you're like, well, no, because the vertical ones do better in this, I wouldn't have an opinion. That's what I'm saying, Sin. I truly don't know. You have, I want a consultation business. You have a consultation business with more people than I have. So, I mean, you know a little bit more. If you believe vertical videos would draw in more of this or that, then that'll work. I forgot you told me I had to upload it. Why can't you make a G Poot fan page and you upload it? That sounds like it works. I appreciate you, Fluff. You know I do, baby. I appreciate you stopping by. Also, don't call yourself dumb. Don't call yourself dumb. Don't call yourself dumb because your subconscious mind will just agree with you. Your subconscious mind will agree with you and act accordingly. What else we got to do, Sin? What else we got to do, Sin? We ain't got nothing else to do, baby. You don't want to be paid for editing video. I mean, I can't pay you right now, but eventually, imagine being able to say you took someone as unorganized as me and got me out there, baby. You could be like, I went to this guy's fucking. He didn't. His whole marketing strategy was just bullshit. And then you, in a matter of 2 months, I had his traffic up by 143%. Oh, look at this one. Oh, you ain't, I forgot you like, you. This is what I'm looking forward to right here. And I know that's your boy. I know that's your boy, Sin. Money and success don't change people. And that's why I knew Will Smith was. I never believed any. Yeah, that means you didn't slap Chris Rock because you were going through this and that. That's just who you are. That's always who you were. You just had a bunch of love and nobody put you down. But as soon as someone challenges who, like when the guy kissed him on his cheek and he smacked him, as soon as someone makes you feel disrespected in any sort of fucking way, you do what you do. But as long as you know, money is, and that's what I'm wondering. I want to see who is the G Poo going to be when he gets money and success. I'm so, who am I going to be when I finally get money and success? Who am I going to be? What you think, Sin? How much you think I'm going to change? You think I'm going to be all snooty booty? Let's say I just get money out of nowhere and I'm successful. How do you think that would change me, Sin? I'm curious. What do you think that would do to me? Let's just say in a matter of a week. In a matter of a week, I got 1,000 people in my live stream and I'm making money doing this. How do you think that would change me? Do you think I would be, well, damn. Well, damn. I mean, probably. But I'm asking you how you think it would change me. You think I'd become more of an asshole or something? I ain't gonna wait. I ain't got no time to be wasting. What you talking about? The unexamined life is not worth living. Tell him, Socrates. Tell him. Tell him. I gotta pee. I'm about to get out of here. Are you talking about shit? Sin, I would give away too much money. Are you fucking serious, dude? I would man, if we're just talking about money, I would give away too much money. That would be one of my problems. Trying to fucking help people with money. Because for me, that's my main problem. So when I'm looking at other people, I want to help them, but a lot of people, money isn't their main problem. A lot of people, it's like gifting an ant with 1,000 pounds of gold. A lot of people, money will not help them. Money will make their life much, much more complicated. Those who pay attention will have no choice but to notice. But I'm sure both you and I can agree many people go their entire life choosing not to notice anything. There we go. I hope so, Sin. Oh, don't you worry, baby. Don't you worry. If I ever came into large amounts of money, everybody that supports me, everybody that's been there, they getting something. I ain't saying I could change your fucking life, but if I came into large amounts of money, baby, I would love to give away. I would love to give away large portions. A large part because having a lot of money scares me. So I mean, I wouldn't mind giving away most of it. I gotta pee, but when I pee, we're ending this stream. That's one of the best tests right there. Getting money and see how it changes you. I truly think I would do okay. I truly think I would do damn okay. I couldn't see that changing me and making me. Ah. I mean, I'm poor as shit and call myself the greatest philosopher of our time. I'm getting out of here with you, baby. I'm leaving too. I'm leaving with you because I got to use the bathroom and my drink's been done for 30 minutes. Folks, let's end it with a hug. Let's end it with a hug, folks. What's that for, Nick? What's that little sad face for? I gotta pee. I'm scrolling back to make sure I didn't miss one of your quotes. I want to make sure you're just being dramatic and you didn't say something and I ignored it because I don't think I did. Oh, yeah. I responded to the last thing you said. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Is that a silly, sad face or did I ignore something he said? Okay, I know. I scrolled back to make sure you see that, Nick? You see that? When you put the sad face, my thought was, hold on. He's either being dramatic or I did something. Let me scroll back to make sure I didn't do anything and he's just being dramatic. I love you either way, baby. I love you either way. Head to the bosom, folks. Put your, I'm a, right there. Put your head on the. I know this is the same color shirt I was wearing yesterday, but it's a new shirt. It's not the same shirt. It's not. Oh, right there. Right there. Rest your head. Do I still got that bump on my chest? Hold on. I had a bump on my chest. Is it still there? I'm trying to. Oh, yeah. Where is it? Regardless. Regardless. I appreciate you. And I will see you folks. I don't know when. I go back to work tomorrow. I only work 2 days. I gotta piss. Goodbye. I appreciate you. What's the stuff I'm supposed to say? Make sure you like and subscribe. And yeah, do all of that stuff you're supposed to do. Share the video, like the video, clip the video. I don't know. I gotta use the bathroom. Much love going out to you people. Much love going out to you.